Hello, Jay here. Welcome to Beginning Guitar Chapter 4. Okay, today we're going to learn G major and G minor. I'm going to be giving you several different chord choices for this chapter because for G minor, sometimes that's played as a bar chord, but I'm going to have some mini versions of these to make it easier, and then you could ultimately pick which one you want to strum with today, and then keep working on all these chords too, and build into the larger chords too. Okay, let's start off with G major. This is going to be our open position G major chord. I'm giving you some different suggestions and I'm numbering them, so I would recommend start off with number 1 and then you could start to check out these different options too. Okay, for the first one, this is going to have your middle finger on the 3rd fret 6th string, index fingers on the 2nd fret 5th string, open 4th string, open 3rd string, and then ring fingers on the 3rd fret 2nd string, pinkies on the 3rd fret 1st string. Okay, now another cool way to play this chord, I'm going to swap out my pinky and add my ring finger now. I'm going to have my open 2nd string, and I'm going to have my ring finger on the 3rd fret 1st string. Okay, now with that same chord, you can also play that 3rd fret on the 1st string with your pinky if you like, but usually I would use my ring finger for that more. Okay, now there's another way to play G major that sometimes is a great transition to going to the chord C, which we'll be learning in the next chapter. This one might seem a little different at first, but it's kind of a good one to know just in case. This one's going to have my ring finger now on the 3rd fret 6th string. I've got my middle finger on the 2nd fret 5th string, open 4th string, open 3rd string, open 2nd string, and then pinky gets the 3rd fret on the 1st string. Okay, now the 4th example is going to be what I call a mini version of G, or mini G, and just use your index finger, get the 3rd fret on the 1st string, and then you can have your open 4th string, 3rd and 2nd. Just try to avoid your 5th and your 6th string with this one, because if you do, you're going to hit some notes that aren't in this chord. It'll still be okay for beginning, but try to focus with the mini versions on only these particular strings. Okay, for a G major, we can do a triad of just 3 notes, and that's going to be ring finger on the 5th fret 4th string, middle fingers on the 4th fret 3rd string, and then indexes on the 3rd fret 2nd string. Okay, now we can also wrap our thumb over the top of the neck and grab a bass note. So now my thumb's on the 3rd fret 6th string. I'm going to mute my 5th string, and then I've got the ring finger, 5th fret 4th string, middle finger is 4th fret 3rd string, and then index is 3rd fret 2nd string, and then muting my 1st string as well. Okay, now for G minor, I'm going to give you some mini versions first, and then we'll talk about an open strum chord and then a bar chord. Now bar chords are always going to be a little tricky, and usually we get to those later in this book, but I'm going to go ahead and just introduce the concept, so no pressure. Okay, now for the first one, I'm going to be doing an index finger bar. I'm going to use my index finger to get the 3rd frets on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string, and I'm going to have my open 4th string. I'm using my thumb for some pressure to try to flatten out that index finger, and it would sound like this. Okay, now, if the barring is too tricky, you can also just stack your fingers. So like our A major stack we learned, if we take the same concept, index, middle, and ring, all on my 3rd frets on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string, again coming in from the open 4th string, that's a way to stack your mini G minor. Here's another way to play our G minor with just 4 notes. Instead of the open 4th string now, I'm going to have my ring finger on the 5th fret 4th string, and I'm going to bar with my index and get the 3rd frets on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. Okay, now the last one, I'm going to show you a bar chord. Again, no pressure for this, but it's kind of nice to introduce the concept and just start to see how these chords become bars eventually, and then we can start to play and move around our bar chords to any keys, and this is going to help us eventually to get to some other keys. Okay, now for a bar chord, you're going to go index finger on your 3rd fret 6th string, stretch to the 5th fret with your ring finger on the 5th string, pinky goes to the 5th fret 4th string, and then I'm just going to lay down my index finger barred across the whole 3rd fret. I am going to use my middle finger to help support my bar, and you could lay it on top of your index if you like, or kind of nudge into it to help put some pressure definitely using my thumb on the back of the neck, and that's a G minor bar chord. And just so you know, if I add my middle finger to the 4th fret on the 3rd string, that would be our G major bar chord. This chapter's strum pattern is going to have some 8th notes and quarter notes. Now when you see a box without a bottom, that's a down strum, and an arrow pointing down is an up strum. Okay, we're going to have 8th notes on the first 2 beats, and we're going to count it like this: 1 and 2 and I'm going to recommend a down up for each of those beats. On beats 3 and 4, we'll just have quarter notes, and you could just do down strums for both of those beats, and we'll just count those right on the beat, so 3 and 4. Now here is the pattern without a chord: 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just be playing each of these one time, but I recommend repeat them all 4 to 8 times and check out your different tempos: slow, medium, and fast. Okay, grab your G major, and we're going to go 4 bars with that pattern. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, for number 2, we're going to go 4 bars with a G minor. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Here's number 2 a little faster. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, for number 3, we're going to have an 8-bar progression. We're going to go 4 bars of G major into 4 bars of G minor. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, for number 4, we're going to go 2 bars of G major into 2 bars of G minor. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, for number 5, we're going to go 1 bar of G major into 1 bar of G minor, and then repeat that again for bars 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Remember to take all these as slow as you need to go. Okay, for number 6 and the next numbers, we're going to bring back some chords from previous chapters and some rhythms that we've been talking about. Okay, we're going to have our normal pattern for this whole progression, and we're going to start off 2 bars with the D major. On bars 3 and 4, we'll go to G major. Bars 5 and 6, we'll go to E minor. And then we'll go to G minor for bars 7 and 8. Okay, for D major, we're going to have index finger on the 2nd fret 3rd string, ring fingers on the 3rd fret 2nd string, and then middles on the 2nd fret 1st string. For your E minor, it's going to be open 6th string, and then middle fingers 2nd fret 5th string, ring fingers 2nd fret 4th string, and then open 3 high strings. Okay, I want to point out one tip. When we're switching from a D to a G, or vice versa, if I play a D major chord, I can keep my ring finger planted, add my pinky to the 3rd fret 1st string, and then bump my middle and my index to the 3rd fret 6th string, and then the 2nd fret on the 5th string. It's keeping my ring finger stationary. Now if I switch back, I'm going to keep my ring finger planted and then move my index to the 2nd fret 3rd string and my middle to the 2nd fret 1st string. So that's a good practice, is to switch from your G to your D and then just try to keep your ring finger planted and just do some long strums. And that's going to really help you start to make your transitions eventually, and also it's good for not having to look at your guitar because your fingers are already sort of there. So that's a little tip for that switch. Okay, here comes number 6. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, for number 7, we're going to start off with a G minor. We're going to have normal pattern for bar 1. We'll do a whole note for bar 2. That's a chord lasting for 4 beats. We'll switch it to an A minor on bar 3, normal pattern, and then we'll have that again for bar 4. Same shape as your E major chord, but bumped a set of strings towards your feet. So I've got my middle finger on the 2nd fret 4th string, ring fingers on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then index is on the 1st fret 2nd string, and you can have open strings. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. We're going to start off with an A major. We're going to have normal pattern on bar 1 and then 2 half notes for bar 2. On bar 3, we'll switch it to a D minor with normal pattern. On bar 4, we'll have a whole note rest. That means we won't play anything for 4 beats. Switch it to a G major on bar 5 with normal pattern. On bar 6, we'll have a half note rest for the first 2 beats, and then we'll resume our pattern for beats 3 and 4 with a couple quarter notes. Bar 7 has an A minor with normal pattern. And then on bar 8, we're going to have a quarter note rest for beat 1, 8th notes on beat 2, quarter note rest on beat 3, and then a quarter note on beat 4. So we're still keeping our pattern, but we have rest on beats 1 and 3. Okay. I want to point out, as you're doing that whole note rest on bar 4, you can already get your G major chord ready to go and just use your right hand to silence those strings. Okay, for your A major, I'm just doing the stack. I've got my index finger on the 2nd fret 4th string, middle fingers on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then ring fingers on the 2nd fret 2nd string, and you can have all your open strings. For D minor, 1st finger, 1st fret 1st string, ring fingers on the 3rd fret 2nd string, and then middle fingers on the 2nd fret 3rd string. Here comes number 8. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 2, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2. Rest, rest. Okay, for this chapter scales, we're going to learn the G major pentatonic and the G minor pentatonic in our open position. Okay, first of all, let's acknowledge the notes of our G major pentatonic. It's going to be a G, A, B, a D, and an E. And it's grabbing 5 notes from the major scale, and the notes are the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. We're going to start off 3rd fret 6th string. We're going to go open 2 on the 5th string, and then open 2 on the 4th string, and then open 3rd string. Coming back down, open 3rd string, 2 open 4th string, 2 open 5th string, and then 3rd fret 6th string. Okay, here's that scale up and down. We're going to play each note 2 times, and it'll sound like 8 notes. 3 and 4 and. Scale up 2 octaves, so let's do what we've already done. 3rd fret 6th string, open 2 5th string, open 2 4th string. Okay, now we're going to go to our open 3rd string, and we're going to keep going up. So we'll go to our 2nd fret on the 3rd string, open 2nd string to the 3rd fret, and then open 3 on the 1st string. And that takes us up to the note G. That's our 2nd octave right there. Okay, coming back down, 1st string is a 3 open, 2nd string is a 3 open, 3rd string is a 2 open, 4th string is a 2 open, 5th string is a 2 open, and then the 3rd fret 6th string. Okay, that scale up and down. 3, 4. You can just use your index finger for all those notes if you like, and definitely keep that thumb on the back of the neck for some pressure. Okay, now let's take it to the G minor pentatonic. Our notes are going to be a G, B flat, C, D, and an F. And we're grabbing 5 notes from our minor scale this time, and it's the 1, flat 3, 4, 5, and a flat 7. So that's some theory. We'll get to know more theory as we go through the book, but basically pentatonic scales are grabbing 5 notes that work really well off of minor or major scales. And they're very popular for jamming too in guitar, so it's good to just start to get to know some of these scales, and they're really fun. Okay, now we're going to start off on the 3rd fret again on the 6th string. Then we're going to go to our 1st fret 5th string, and then to the 3rd fret 5th string. I'm going to use my index and ring for that, but you can also just use your index for both of those. And then we'll have our open 4th string, 3rd fret on the 4th string, and then we'll go to our open 3rd string. Okay, coming back down, open 3rd string, 3rd fret to open on the 4th string, 3 to 1 on the 5th string, and then 3 on the 6th string. Okay, here's that scale up and down. I'm going to hit each note 2 times. They'll sound like 8th notes. 3 and 4 and... that scale up 2 octaves. So let's do what we've already done. 3rd fret 6th string, 1 to 3 on the 5th string, open 3 on your 4th string. Okay, now in your 3rd string, we'll go open. Let's keep going up further this time. We'll go to our 3rd fret on the same string. Okay, on your 2nd string, we're going to go 1 to 3. And then on the 1st string, we'll go 1 to 3. And that 3rd fret again is your high G, that's your 2nd octave. Coming back down, 3 to 1 1st string, 3 to 1 2nd string, 3 open 3rd string, 3 open 4th string, 3 to 1 5th string, and then 3rd fret 6th string. Okay, here's that scale up and down. 3, 4. Okay, I always recommend to improvise with your chords and scales. We're going to be talking about that in this chapter study, but I want to go ahead and just jam a little bit on what we've already learned so far. So when we improvise, we're just making up anything we like, and I'm just recommending pick a G major chord and just do some strumming on it. So if I have my G major chord, I'm just going to jam a little bit. You could do long chords, short chords, down strums, up strums, but just kind of have some fun with it. Okay, now if I do the same concept with the G minor chord. Just starting to have some fun with it, making some music. Now I could do the same concept with my scales. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to play some G major chord for a little bit, and then I'm going to jam my G major pentatonic scale. So here's some chords. Any kind of strumming. And then I'm going to play some G major pentatonic. Back to some chords. A little more scale. Okay, now here's a little bit of jamming with the G minor chord and then some G minor pentatonic. So first some chords. Now I'm going to try some of the G minor pentatonic. Back to some chords. And then some more scale. Okay, for this chapter study, we're going to talk about jamming and improvisation. We've already been doing this in these first chapters, but at this point, I just want to kind of throw out some concepts and we could talk about different ways to start to get our jamming going. Now for number one, this is going to be arpeggiating an E major chord. And this is going to be, instead of strumming the whole chord, I'm going to be picking separately some notes. It's all holding my E major chord, but leading into just totally improvising and being able to pick apart your chords a little bit. Now, as far as the tab goes here, this would be reading it down. It'd be my open 6. I go to my 5th string, 4th string, hit the first 3 strings as a team. Now I'm going to hit the 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string. Here's another small chord. It's the 5th, 4th, and 3rd string. And then my high 2 strings. Okay, now rubato is a term for when we don't have a beat. So if I play just freely, okay, now that's the tablature example I gave. Now go ahead and just pick anything you like. If you want to try some full chords, you can put those in there too, but no beat. Just very floaty concept, and just picking one at a time or making small chords with your E major chord. Okay, now for number 2, we're going to go into an A major chord, and for this one we're going to keep a beat. Now still arpeggiating, so you can pick anything you like, totally open, but I'm holding my A major chord, and now I'm going to give myself a beat like 1, 2, 3, 4, and just start to pick it apart. Put in some big chords if you like. So I've still got my beat, 2, 3, 4. So that's keeping a rhythm as opposed to a very rubato or floaty non-time feel. Okay, for number 3 now, we're going to go into a D major and we're going to improvise with some strumming. Okay, now for strumming, you could strum long chords or short chords. Anything goes. The example I gave was to do a whole note, a couple quarter notes, some eighth notes, and a half note. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this with a rubato or no beat feel. It'd be like a long chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a quarter note, another quarter note. Here's some eighth notes, and another longer chord. Okay, so now I'm just going to really improvise. I'm not really thinking about any beat. It's very free floating. Just jamming and strumming. Long strums, short strums. You could strum up too if you like, but that's just basically strumming my chord without a beat. Okay, now for number 4, we're going to go to a G major and we're going to strum this time with a beat. And I'm going to give a couple of examples here. I'm going to start off with a whole note, go into some quarter notes, 2 half notes, and then 2 beats of eighth notes to a half note. So here it is as written, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, 4. Okay, now that's written. Now I'm just going to basically keep my beat and I'm just going to do some strumming. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Still keeping that beat. Long chords, shorter chords. So this is the way that we can keep our internal beat and then just start to strum and make our own rhythms. And big part of music for me too is incorporating that real human aspect. So sometimes we want to be very precise and play everything very rhythmically as written, or a certain part. That's definitely a part of music too. And then there's the more open part where you're just free flowing a little bit, keeping a beat or not keeping a beat. Okay, for number 5, now this is going to be jamming off of a scale. So first of all, it's an E major pentatonic scale. That would be open 2-4 on your 6th string, 2-4 on the 5th string, 2-4 on the 4th string, 1st fret on your 3rd string, open 2, 2nd string, open 2-4 on your 1st string. Okay, now if I play as written here, it's going to be open 2, open, string, just the second fret on your fifth string, 4 to 2 on the fourth string, first fret, third string, second fret on the second string, and then open 2 on the first string. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and just play this without a beat. Okay, now I'm going to take that scale and I'm just going to go ahead and improvise. Anything goes. I'm just using that scale, but you could reverse order of notes. You could jump around different strings. So here's just improvising with my E major pentatonic scale without a beat. So just getting to know scales a little bit and start to make your own melodies. For number 6, we're gonna go into jamming on a chord, playing a scale, back to a chord, and then back to a scale. So I'm gonna be using the E major chord and the E major pentatonic, and you could do this with or without a beat. So the first one I'm gonna do is without a beat. I'm just gonna basically strum or arpeggiate some E major chord, no beat. Now I'm going to improvise with my E major pentatonic. Back to my chord. Again, no beat. Arpeggiating, strumming. Back to some scale. Okay, now I'm going to do number 6 with a beat. Same concept, but this time holding some rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some chord. Any kind of strumming. Got my beat going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to go into some scale. Keeping my beat. Back to some chord. Arpeggiations or strumming, but still got my beat. 2, 3, 4, and then back to some scale. Thank you so much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you for the next chapter. Take care.